Hey, hey, hey.
We're back, y'all. Listen, we're about to talk about marriage again.
We're one of my favorite couples, y'all.
Yeah. Um, so if you've been joining us and like keeping up with everything with the talks, listen, hopefully you've gotten your book, 40 Days of, what was it, 40 Days of Presence. That too.
Yeah, if
With
you
dating
got,
advice for married men.
well, we can start off with 40 Days of Presence.
Yeah, I did. Well, somebody must need 40 Days of Presence. Listen, this is drawing closer to God in 40 days, learning how to draw close to God. And so, again,
And it also has its own journal.
yeah, it has a companion journal where you can write down for 40 days, especially when we're getting close to Lent. Some people are fasting. Churches are getting together and they're going to fast for the 40. All right. So make sure that you get your copy. Listen, who do we have? What's going on, Quincy? What's Amber? What's going on? Listen, share this quickly. Please share this. But make sure you get your copy of 40 Days of Presence. The book I was meaning to say was Dating Advice for Married Men. This is what sparked this, what started us meeting with couples. It's on Amazon, Dating Advice for Married Men. You don't have to be married to get this. You don't have to be a man to get this. But listen, if you're interested in having relationships at all, with whether you're dating somebody or you're considering marrying somebody, or even if you're married, you want to know what God has for you. What are the standards? What will make this relationship spicier, more exciting, beautiful, attractive? People will be, your partner will be blown away by this. You need it for your sons. Get it for your daughters, so your daughters will know what men how men are to treat them. Okay, so please, dating advice for married men. All right, listen, we got others joining on. What's going on, Rachel? Listen,
That's
share
right.
this. Please share this. The other book that we do have also, of course, Jesus Girl. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's do the first one. Jesus Girl, Stories of Women Wrecked by Love. Jesus Girl. God has been blessing us with books and having us write books. Never did I think that I'll be writing a book, and I know my wife, did you ever?
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
So make sure you get it. It's on Amazon as well. Jesus Girl, Stories of Women Wrecked by Love. This is beautiful. God actually showed Nia which women to put in his book, and they have done a fabulous, remarkable job with this. So please get your copy. Also, the second book, Jesus Girl, How Do I Move Forward? Jesus Girl, How Do I Move Forward? Please make sure you get your copies. There are testimonies in these books, stories that will resonate with you. And I'm telling you, it will be a blessing to you. So please get your copies. Now, listen,
hey,
while we...
Quincy. Hey, brother, we miss you. Now, Ursula, tell Ursula we said hey.
Man, listen, make sure you share this.
Yes, just take a moment, you all, and go ahead and just share it with everyone. Share. Look, I'm so excited about our couple that's coming on. Very, very excited. One of my favorite couples. I love them. My sisters.
Yeah, this is exciting. So, look, we're going to connect them in shortly. Listen, but while we're getting to that, again, I want you all to jump on any questions you all have, like from before. We never did tackle any questions. You may have had a conversation with somebody at work, right? And everybody's talking about relationships, problems they're having, things they want to do, goals they want to have, standards like, okay, they can't have children. They need to make this much money. People got all these demands.
A lot of
What were your standards?
I did not want a man that already had kids. That was one thing.
How when you had a kid?
Because I didn't want to deal with a baby mama. But I knew you didn't have to deal with my baby daddy. I was done. So It
Okay.
was double standards.
Yeah.
But I also, my number one was I wanted a man of God who loved God more than me.
Why?
Because I always end up with the stalkers.
What do you mean?
I would end up with stalkers. Like they would love me so much and not have a relationship with the Lord. And I would try to drag them to church. And I was sick of that.
Okay.
So I was like, I want a man of God. And I don't want to have to try to teach him. I want him to teach me. And I asked God for a teacher.
Really?
Yes. He gave me a teacher too.
Okay.
And so I got everything I wanted. I don't know if you got what you wanted. I know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You better say yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get in the frame. I can't even see you.
Yes, I got everything I want.
Yes.
And then some.
That's right.
God got good taste.
Yes, he does.
But I want to go back to this thing where how many women that are single have these double standards?
A lot. I talk to some sometimes, and they do. And it's not just women; it's men too. Because
Okay.
I've
What do you
heard it.
mean?
I've heard it. So I've heard from men say things like she need to be built like this, and she got to look like that, and she can't do this. But you ain't in shape. You got a kid. You want her to have a six pack. That's wrong.
I got you.
So,
I got you.
So I hear
Okay.
those things. You know, I hear women. He has to make this amount. You know, and like, okay, so do you make that amount?
Yeah.
So, become what you're asking of him.
Wow. Wow. That's,
You know.
Had any women taking your advice when you
I
told them?
hope so.
I mean, do you got any testimonies with that? Like I know you like testimonies.
I've got many testimonies of, girl, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you.
Wow. Oh,
I do have testimonies of, but I do have some testimonies of just listening. You're not in the frame.
Okay,
You need to
I'm
stay
sorry.
over here. Scoot over.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So that is
You
hurtful.
just scoot back over. You really did. Yes, you did.
Come on here, scoot up.
Oh, scoot your bottom over.
Well, I'm
I ain't-
competing with your bottle.
I'm gonna ignore you.
All right, so I just lost my train of thought. Wait, what did you just say?
You just said something about bottom, so that just
No. Listen, so you said something.
no. You asked me did I have any testimonies, and I said some.
Oh yeah. So like, do you ever feel like okay, when you get those, man, I wish I would listen to you. Do you ever feel like, man, like I want to get somebody who can listen and don't have that story? I wish I would have.
Well,
And I'm in it now, or look at what happened. Now.
well, I do have some that I know that women who are waiting on the Lord.
Okay.
And that they live single, and as much as I can, I'm always trying to give advice like, look, listen, when you get married, or I'll tell them in advance. I even do it to Micah. She's 14. I'm like, look, pray for this, So just giving the heads up, as you call it,
Yeah.
Beforehand. So
Like even just preparing our children for the kind of marriage you want them to be in.
yeah.
Like, okay, do this. Start thinking about these things.
Yeah.
Even praying for it.
Yes, even like Gavin when he was younger, and he came to me one day and he asked me. He said, "Mama, so what if when I got older, I married a woman of this color?" I was like, "Okay, well, what about if she was white? What if she was Chinese? What if she was this?" And he just named all nationalities. And I told him, I said, "Okay," I said, "my main concern would be, is she saved? Has she accepted?" That was actually my prayer. Like I'm not, I don't care about that. I care more about you having a godly marriage, and that he's the foundation.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah. I think I wish more. I wish that was stressed more.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah. I think that's key to healthy relationships. And I'm not saying that like just because person's saved that you ain't got to deal with no drama or no issues, right? But what we're saying is that should at least be the foundation, the starting point. Not like okay they're saved, jump into marriage, but at least you know what I mean. Like I'm starting here.
yes.
Okay, so and then after that, they got to love you.
Yeah.
love children.
And that was another thing, because Gavin was like 7 when I met you. And the other thing for me was, I was like, look, I asked God to bring somebody in my life before I thought Gavin was too old to receive a man in my life. And
Okay.
so he was 7. But I also wanted a man to be able to love my child,
Yeah, right.
and accept him, because we were a package,
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I come with a 7-year-old.
How many times have you seen women oblivious to what their child is saying with the man they choose?
Um,
The
I,
child
I've
is like looking just horrified or depressed, and they're like dismissive. Like, just go to your room. They're not even considering the signs.
She like, I got my man, but I've seen that, but I was trying to make it my business that no, I wanted somebody to be able to teach my son as well as myself,
Yeah, gotcha.
and that and the Lord did that, so I thank Him for that.
Amen. Wow. Well, look. So, listen. I want you all to share this. Get some people on.
They're actually ready. They're on.
So we want to invite our friends on.
Y'all ready for our guest tonight?
I'm ready. I'm ready. So we're waiting for them to connect. Just let them know to connect, and we're gonna include them in. What's going on? What's going on, Miss Pickens? What's going on, Miss Pickens? Okay, so maybe you need to reach out to her on yours, because she's trying to reach out, and they're trying to connect. They have some difficulties.
Did you send it to her, or you sent it to him?
I sent it to both of them.
Okay.
Yep. So, but listen. Okay, so we're going to try to see if we can get them on. Hold on one moment. Up. Let's see if we can connect real quick.
She said they don't have the button to join.
All right. So hopefully
that works.
Yeah. What's going, Alonzo? What's going on? Hey, listen. Thank you all for joining us. Look, share real quick. We want to talk about marriage. We're just trying to get our guests connected real quick. But that was I'm still intrigued by what you were saying about this whole double standards. Because I hear it all the time.
I do. I know, and I know you all hear it.
I remember years ago, right when I got out of college, I started working at the SBC, and in a call center, and this girl came up and she was like praying, and I was like, "What you praying for?" I'm just praying for this list, husband I want God to bless me with. And I looked at the list. This list was like this long, and it was all these things. I'm like, "Are you
so look,
serious?
what is happening?
Are you serious?" And so, hold on, let me see if we can get them on. Hold on, let me see. All right, we're just trying to get everybody connected. Let's see if we can get through. All right, let's see. All right, let's see if that works. So we're having some difficulty. So we're trying.
So what do they have to do except?
Yep, the invite. All right, so I always feel like this, like that. When I was young, a school teacher didn't know how to use a VHS. Where the play button at? And it's like, what the world are you? And I feel like this. I feel like every time I deal with this, I feel like the school teacher.
Yeah.
Like, that's sad, man.
Yeah.
What's going on? Okay, so listen. Tell me all if you're single or if you're married.
Hold on a second, Rachel. Go ahead and contact them and see if you can help her.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the case. I don't know what's happening.
All right. Listen, when you were single, if you're married or if you're single now, tell me, what are some deal breakers, right, in a relationship? What are the deal breakers for you? Give me 2 deal breakers. Like, what's that thing that say, you know what, like, this was a deal breaker for me? If you're married, you look back like, okay, this was always a deal breaker. They can't If they came like this, no, we ain't having it. Or if you're single now and you like, I got some deal breakers. If you got three, add three. But I'm saying at least two, okay? What are your deal breakers, or what were your deal breakers? Okay, I want y'all to type it in. Um, and so this a bad attitude.
Bad attitude. Okay.
Bad attitude. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like.
Well, Quincy, sometimes I have a bad attitude, and I think Mike like it. And I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
So I'm assuming he's talking about bad attitude, like just always moody, frowning, like just yeah. I got you, man. Look, bad attitude. That's kind of that's
a
hard.
Deal breaker.
Yeah. Hey, okay.
What about you, Mike? What was your deal breaker?
My deal breaker. So you had to, like, I literally needed you to have a relationship with Christ. Yeah. Like that. Like even when we met. Remember I gave you that test? Yeah, it was like
I was like, which test? You did it a couple times.
What you mean?
So the one test, he actually taught a class, and what you were teaching on? It was like the beginning class.
Yeah, something I don't remember.
And so it was like all these questions about what do you believe, about salvation. It was just all these questions. So
it was trick questions.
So I came to visit him, and as I visited him, he was like, "Okay, I want you to." He was like, "Do me a favor, but real quick, we stop by the church." And he was like, "Real quick, hey, fill this out for me. This was something for my, my students." I was like, "Okay." So I sat down at the table and I just went through it and I checked all the boxes and answered all the questions. Then I gave it back.
Right. She got it all right.
And then
I was impressed.
I was like, I said this mug really wanted me to take a test. It was like, what do you believe?
It was self-trick question. Like I want to know people. You need to know why you believe what you believe. You need to know what you believe, right? Mm-hmm. And you passed it, so I was impressed.
So she was on her laptop, so she's about to join now. So
all right, is it approved? Let's see. All right. Somebody said centered. Amber said, no relationship with God, perverted. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, right.
He can be like creepy Calvin. Oh, there we go.
Hey, that's my family.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, wow. I'm so happy to have y'all on.
Look, y'all, welcome our guests. This is one of my favorite couples.
Oh, what's going on, y'all? Wait a minute, y'all disappeared. What just happened?
Come back.
They actually hit the wrong button and they disappeared. So we got to get them back on.
Do you have to send it again?
No, they need to come back. They just need to come back. What just happened?
Honestly, you can't tell how a person is going to be.
You can tell how a person's going to be by the relationship with God. Okay, all right. Okay. Somebody said, let me see. So definitely, what are deal breakers for you? Excuse me. What are your deal breakers? We got different ones. No relationship with God, perverted, self-centered, bad attitude. What are some deal breakers for you, and what were deal breakers for you?
Selfishness too. Just selfishness, because I can't deal with that. Because
give me an example of selfishness in a relationship.
Just somebody who's stingy with everything.
Like, what you mean?
It's a person that doesn't want to give you their time, that don't want to share with you.
So I saw some just recently about people going Dutch and stuff. They like, you pay.
So can I tell the story without telling the name?
No, I don't know. But yeah, I
just want to tell the story.
Okay, so she want to tell the story, y'all. So I'm sorry. Go tell the story.
So I want to tell the story real quick. So Mike was about going Dutch. And no, you were just talking about going Dutch.
Okay. I was like
he's switching out on me tonight. So one time we went to Atlanta and So when we went to Atlanta, we went with a couple. We met a couple in Atlanta, and so we went to eat, and they were like, "We going Dutch." And I said, "Well, what you mean?" Like they was like, "We always do this." Now had been together for a while, like years. Were they married yet?
I don't know.
I don't know. No, they were getting married, or they had just gotten married. Because me and you weren't married yet. Long story short, we go out, and they literally paid for their meal and said this is what they do. Like this was normal for them.
Yeah, no.
I can't see that. I don't mind picking up the check. You know what I mean? That was never a problem for me if I had to. But they had the receipt when the lady came. It's like you had this, this. How much is yours? And I was like, no.
I think they're doing it now. I don't know. Is that a new thing or something?
I don't know about that.
Well, look, let's talk about the guests here. What's going on? We got Mr. Rooster,
The
Hunt,
Ruda.
Andrea Hunt in the house. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad y'all got it right. Look, so y'all was acting like those I told hey,
We
Rooster,
old.
no,
We old.
whatever. You gonna say it before I say it, huh? That's all right. Okay.
So y'all know how we like to start off. We want to know, how did y'all meet? And tell us about it. Because I know it's always three sides.
So well, who gonna go first?
He was
Who wanna go first?
checking for me, but go ahead. I'll let you tell your story.
Come on,
We was at the football game. She was throwing some, hey, coach. She don't want to tell nobody that. She said, you gonna pick the boys up. That was some way to get me to come out of the house.
Wow. Oh, so she approached you then.
Uh-huh.
She said
No.
no. Look at her. She said she denied it.
But actually, how we met is that he was Chris and Aaron's first football coach. And so what's interesting is that I would never allow them to play a contact sport like that because I didn't want them to get hurt. And when the year that my dad passed away, I finally agreed and let them play sports. And they met him at school, at elementary school. And so then he saw me, and, then it was all over with after that. Ned, you know how we are.
He's shaking his head now. This agreement. What's going on?
But we were friends before we thought about dating. Like I was the team mom, wasn't I? Was that a team? Yeah, I was the team mom then. I know for basketball, but for football too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was the team mom. We were truly friends. And when I say friends, it's like we were truly friends. He watched the boys while I went out on a date. And so
she make your babysitter.
So Rooster, here. So were you testing it out? Like, okay, let me see if he gonna be able to like watch my kids, because when we get married, you know what I'm saying, he need to get used to this position. Was it like a test or something? What's going on?
I would say
nah. It was more like just like you said. I was just there anyway, helping the boys out, so it was easy.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it was just, we were really, like, I know people always say, oh, we were friends first, but they always had intentions on dating. We were really friends, and I don't think we initially looked at each other that way. Do you agree?
Look, mm-hmm. I don't know about that. Rooster, like, I'll babysit. I'm gonna be right here when you come back. But I would say to say.
Now we were friends because it started out as I had to be able to do something with the boys in order for them to play football for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we started our friends because when he asked me, could the boys play football? And I was like, no, because they got homework and chores and responsibilities, and they were latchkey kids. I know we don't do that nowadays, but they came home from school by themselves and they let themselves in and they had responsibilities. And so, funny story is, I came home for about a week and everything was done. Like homework was already on the table, the house was clean, the rooms were clean, the trash was taken out. And I was like, oh, y'all doing such a good job. I'm so proud of y'all. I didn't know that they was letting Rooster in the house and Rooster was telling them, helping them get everything done so that they could go to football practice. So
Wow.
and so they got in trouble for letting somebody in the house without my permission. but,
Look,
but yeah,
I guess they figured, look, if you would let him babysit them, they was like, he all right. But
yeah,
that said a lot that you trust him,
yeah,
because that's not normal,
yeah,
that you do.
yeah. He's good with kids, and I think that he really loves kids. So that's one thing that I noticed about him. Like he was picking kids up and feeding kids, and he just always had kids with him. And nowadays, when you see that, people get a little nervous, and that's, might be a little strange
Yeah,
because people
yeah.
don't always navigate to somebody else's kids. And so, but he really does love kids, and so that was a plus.
So, hey, Roos, I got a question for you. From the time you all were friends to the time it was an official relationship, how long did it take?
I say uh, the summer, 2 months in the summer. Because by the
Few
time
months?
once school started, it was like about another month. So I would say about from like June to maybe October, right around Prince's birthday.
So, what was how was that transition like from like okay, because usually you be like okay, when I met Nia, I'm like okay, I met her trying to talk to her, like no, let's talk. I want to holler.
You tried to be the friend thing. I was like, I'm not playing with you.
Friends with benefits, right?
Yeah,
But not like just friends and then start dating. Like so, Rooster, how
he
long?
wanted to be all on the low and
I did.
secret and
So what?
I I don't know the time frame exactly, so I would have to trust him if he said it was a couple of months. It seemed longer than that, but it may not have been. I don't recall how long it took before we actually considered ourselves dating because the relationship was very organic. It was very natural. I didn't feel like what's interesting is that I think we fell into a routine of doing things before I really realized that, you know, we looked like a couple,
You
meaning,
like a couple?
we were like, what we gonna feed the boys for dinner, and did they get their homework right, and did you check their book bags? Like we were talking like
like
we were.
So
already.
Rooster eased in there real good, huh? Rooster had game, like
So yeah, so I don't know if it was a couple of months. Now, once we started dating and it was clear that that's what we were doing, then I think I had like stipulations. I was like, look, I don't want to date anybody that don't have. So I'll tell y'all this. I used to pray with the boys in the morning before they go to school. We would get in a circle and we would pray. And so one morning Rusev came by the house to give me a ride, and I asked him, did he want to get in our prayer circle? And he was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, what you mean you're good? Who don't want prayer? Like, what is wrong with you? And so then he got in the circle because I guess he was like, okay, this lady is crazy. But when the boys left school, we were riding in the car. I said, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not want to be in a relationship with somebody who is not trying to have a relationship with God. I just don't. And
So,
and
so y'all skipped
and
right on into the relationship.
mm-hmm.
Wow, Rooster, you
And
smooth.
Say
I
what?
he said you
smooth.
smooth. He think
so
he's smooth.
I do have a question. Like in your mind, Rooster, how long was you planning it out?
I really
Be
wasn't.
honest. For real?
Actually, I wasn't. In my mind, actually, all I wanted to do was get the boys to play football for me because Chris was really good. And I wanted to play football, so I was going to do whatever I had to do to get him on my team.
Wow. So I was an extra added bonus.
Wow.
Wow.
He like, I date mama if you play for me. Whatever you need.
He was pursuing Chris and ended up with me.
Wow. So how did when you all started dating, how did the boys feel about that? And how old were they?
About 10.
No. Elementary school? No.
Chris was like 10 because he was on my Pee Wee team.
Yeah,
That was his last year in Pee Wee's, 9 or 10.
okay.
He was 9 and he turned 10.
Okay, so yeah, I guess you're right. I was going to say, well, Aaron was, so that means Aaron was like 7, 8. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so that's about right.
Wow.
At first, I think it was a little difficult because at first he was their coach and now he's their stepdad, you know. And even though my kids are they weren't rebellious or defiant in it, but you know, we had conversations about how does that feel, you know, and at first they were like, okay, we like it because you know, he just pick us up and we go everywhere and it's fun. But then when their friends and other people on the team found out, they was like, Ma, we want him to just be our coach. So it was a little bit of a transition for sure.
So Rooster, let me ask you this. Like from being the coach, the discipline, to all of a sudden the stepfather who got a discipline, like sit your tail down. Like, was that a hard transition for them to receive that? Like,
well, I think most of the thing was I have to give him a lot of discipline. I was like, go see your mother.
Oh, really?
So it wasn't a lot of me saying, no, you got to do this. All I did was enforce what she said, and anything else that I needed done, go see your mother.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. And I wish like you see that in more marriages where the parents be on the same page. Like that's beautiful. Like they said it, whatever she said, look, you better do it. Whatever he said, you better do it.
And
that's right.
So even with Rooster having 2 boys, and when his boys came, it was still, if they came to my house, then they had to respect the rules of my house. Like they fell in line with the boys. So whatever I said for my boys, it went for all the boys. Man. So 5 boys all together, you know, and so if it was bath time for one, it was bath time for everybody. If it was everybody has a chore, then everybody had a chore. So I can say that in that perspective, we did not have like a lot of division. We kind of had a, you know, it was if this is what Andrea said do, then this is what I'm gonna support. So I do appreciate that.
Okay.
Well, that takes a person humbling himself, especially a man, Rooster. Humble yourself and say, okay, you know, that's beautiful.
It really is. Now I do have a question. So, you know how when people first get married, right, and they have all these plans, like, and then just the unexpected just changes everything. What are some unexpecteds that like you felt like, okay, I wasn't prepared for this, you know, like, man, I didn't realize as far as this would be a challenge. Like, what are some things that y'all experience even in marriage?
I can't really say I experienced a whole lot because my thing was I'm only going to do it one time. So divorce is not in the picture, so I'm only going to do it one time. So you got to get it right.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, say that again, because literally I keep hearing people get divorces and that's on the table. Please say that again one time. What'd you say?
Divorce wasn't on the table, and I was only going to do it this one time.
Come on now.
So that is one thing that he said. So interestingly enough, Rooster wanted a big wedding. So, and when we were planning the wedding, he was like, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. when we get married, we will not get divorced. And he said, so even if you want a divorce, I am not divorcing you. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to only do this one time. It's me and you, and that's how it's going to be. But going back to your question, Pastor Mike, I think that some of the unexpected challenges is that we hadn't been married that long, technically, when we moved out here. And so that was big, like moving away from our family, moving away from everything that was familiar. You know, we hadn't been married that long. We had been married a couple of years. So we got married in 2006. So we moved out here in 2008. So our marriage was still very new.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think another thing is, of course, like Rooster having a stroke. People always are shocked because they see me doing so much now, but pre-stroke, I did almost nothing. I mean, I worked, but Rooster did literally everything for me. Like I didn't drive to work because I didn't want to. I didn't drive to work because I did not want to walk across the street from the parking garage. So he drove me to work. He packed my lunch. If he didn't pack it, then he brought me lunch to work. Like he did literally everything. He cooked dinner every night. Now, I always kept the house, but one of the things I loved about us is that we had no one else defined our marriage for us and what roles we would have. Rooster always cooked. And so when people be like, oh, a way to a man's heart is to his stomach, I said, well, that ain't work for me because I don't have a desire to cook, and I don't, and he always did. So, it's
I,
those things happening was huge for us.
look, I was gonna say I remember when I first met you all, and then I had came over on a Sunday for something. I don't know what we were doing in the basement, and that was when you all were in Swansea.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the basement, and I remember then we were just talking, and I don't know what we were doing in the basement. It was just me and you. And then all of a sudden, Rooster came downstairs, and he had made us some dinner and brought it downstairs. It was like spaghetti and something. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
I was okay. I came home. I was like, Mike, Rooster cooked us dinner. It was good.
Hey, man, you making it hard, man. you making it hard for a brother, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Now,
So, yeah.
I will tell you this. Like, even when you talk about the stroke, man, like, Nia can be a witness of this. Literally, I would tell Nia, Rooster has been my motivation. Like, when I be like, not feel like doing that, man, brother, you done like built a bathroom, built a deck. I felt bad, man. I felt convicted. No, and I'm so serious. Would you tell him? Then I come and tell you,
he was like, babe, shoot, his mug made a whole deck back there.
I was like, I need to do something with my life. I said, I need to do something with my life. I'm so like, I want you to speak to that because I have not seen a perseverance and that type of stick to itness, I guess, in even men that have not even experienced
I
that.
say determination.
Determination, yeah. Like, man, like where did you get that kind of drive? Like how? That's
I guess I would say not having and always wanting to have. So if you want to have it, you got to do it yourself.
Wow.
But what pushed you to keep moving after the stroke, though?
Just I knew if I didn't keep moving, I might stop moving.
Yeah.
Wow. But you definitely inspired me because I was dealing with sick people, and I was like, man, I would tell you, I would say, Rooster, shoot, I wish you can go over here and deal with these people and show them, like, man, like, that you still getting around and you ain't quit.
Yeah, that's impressive, man.
I will say that, and I know I've shared this with you guys and shared it at church. And so that was Rooster having a stroke probably was the hardest thing that we've gone through. And I took what he did for granted. You know, I did not really realize how much stuff he got done in a day until I had to do it. I think about he was in the hospital, and I was like, Rooster, who pay our electric bill? Like, where? How do we get that? It's not that I didn't know how to do it. I didn't even know the name of the electric company. Like, I didn't know the name of the electric company. I didn't know the name of the water company. I didn't know that stuff because he did it. He took care of it. And so, not just from a bill perspective, just everything, like, even like as simple as loading the dishwasher. Or I will tell anybody, every business that him and I have ever had is because I could have the idea, but he's going to do the legwork.
Man.
So when we talked about going into the mall, I said, yeah, I would like to have a space in the mall. And it was just a thought. Next thing you know, he had called the leasing company. He had went to the mall. He looked at the potential space. Like, he had done all of the legwork. And that's how we've always operated. It's like, I could have the idea. He's going to do the legwork to get us started. And then I got to come in and do what I do. And so I really took for granted all of what he did and how much he contributed to the day-to-day happiness of our life. And I really did. I took it for granted. And so I had a newfound respect for him after the stroke. And then to see him keep pushing, he gets up every morning. You will never catch Rooster in his pajamas. He is up every morning, he's fully dressed, and he's ready to start his day, whatever that may look like. And so I tell him all the time, he's my hero, because even when he drive me crazy and get on my nerves, I just think about the fact that this man gets up every single day prepared for whatever. And I love that about him.
Amen.
Yeah. So something that you all mentioned, and I think it's important, like, for couples to hear, and I want y'all to speak on this, is when I've seen you all do business, I've seen you all do it together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've met with couples where it's this her thing, this his thing, and it's almost like they're competing. But every time you all did something with a business, one, it did well,
and it was a unit.
and it was a unit. Y'all like on the same page. Y'all were working together. How are you all able, like, to
Look, for one, Rooster was willing to just put on a pink all
Man.
girly shirt. And he out like, what?
So Rude, now, come on, Rude, now,
And that's like a man.
brother, listen, look, I know you a man's man now, and you were willing to work in an all things girly store. You were like, look, I'm here. This is our business. Like, come on, give some brothers advice out there, man, because that can be hard for some guys.
It's our business. I mean, so I got to support it. If I don't support it, how am I going to get somebody else to want to support it?
Come on now. You're the big leader.
So I wear all things girly shirt. I know what I'm doing. I'm supporting the business.
Come on now.
Ain't nothing girly about me. And I know that. My wife knows that. So, hey, that's all that matters.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about, man.
And what I can say to that is that I think we're both very clear about, like, supporting each other, whatever that looks like, And so there will be no division here. We are going to support each other. When Rooster was coaching, I'm sitting in the stands. I don't care when I leave work. I don't care if I'm tired, but I was in the stands to watch him coach. Same thing when we said we were going to do the store, then whatever we needed to get that store up and operating, he made sacrifices for that. So we are definitely going to support each other. And so he is my biggest cheerleader. And sometimes I'd be like, boy, you think I'm way greater than I actually am. It sounds good, but he is definitely my biggest cheerleader. And so, yeah, we do. I know that that is not common in all marriages, but I'm grateful that that's been the thing for us. I can guarantee that and count on that.
Mm.
Mhm.
Look, that's amazing.
It is.
Um, I so with you all like doing all this, like how do you manage like alone time? Like you know what I mean? Like because I know you all are busy with the store. You know what I mean? You got like okay.
They got Wednesdays.
What is Wednesday?
So,
What is
so the real joke at
wait,
the church is Wednesdays is the night.
what is Wednesday? Y'all elaborate on Wednesday. They talking
So
about.
everybody knows at the church that on Wednesdays,
I don't
you
know
see
what.
everybody from the
I
church,
have
they
no idea.
laughing.
What Rooster? Come on, please help me. What is Wednesday?
So on
That's
Tuesday night we come to Bible
right.
and at Bible study. We remind Rooster that tomorrow Wednesday. Rooster be like,
Come on, y'all didn't
Um,
saying that.
don't listen to that. That's a
man,
running joke. It is a running joke that our Wednesdays is our night. We always talk about, with old people, when you get older, you have to schedule your time. And so I said we had scheduled Wednesdays as our day.
look,
Oh,
hold up. So Sugar on here like Wednesday is date night. No, it ain't. Ain't no date night.
Yeah, it's date night. That's it.
What you say?
But you know what? Finding time is not always easy for us, especially now that we have the grandbaby here a lot. And so but for us, it doesn't take much. If Rusa is in the family room looking at Chicago Fire, all he want me to do is to come and sit on the couch and just be there, you know and we can have just mindless conversation about whatever it is we're watching on TV, but just being in each other's presence. And I'm not moving around cleaning the kitchen, or I'm not doing busy work. I'm just there with him. And so for us, it does sometimes it's just a drive in the car on Sunday evenings when we leave church. Sometimes we be like, you know what, let's just take a drive, and it's just us in the car together, uninterrupted, and we just having whatever kind of conversation we want to have. So it's not always formal like it used to be, where we were going to the movies or we were doing something. Now it's just being in each other's presence uninterrupted.
wow. Let me ask you something. What if you? I don't know what's going on with Nia. She something that
Andrea, Ira's gonna watch this video. That's right, Andrea. Clean it up.
she down Wednesday.
She watered it down yesterday.
Water down Wednesday. That's
See, I can
wrong.
say that on Thursday because yesterday was Wednesday. Now, if you had talked to me yesterday, it might have been a different story.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so look, so what if you all based on like because you've done so much together, right? Um, based on like what kind of advice would you give for couples that are business owners, entrepreneurs, uh, especially people who got their grandbaby? You know what I mean? There's the church.
You got to make time for each other.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Okay.
I think the advice that I would give is that one thing, Pastor Mike, actually, in listening to you, you were teaching on love, and this kind of changed my perspective because, you it's marriage is not always. So if anybody think that marriage is going to be like what you see on TV, where everybody wake up happy, you wake up and your hair already done and your makeup perfect, and he go off to work and you cook breakfast and dinner, and you all are always happy, that's that's not reality. And I know that sometimes people go into marriage expecting that. And I think about my mom and dad. I had never seen my parents argue before.
Okay.
So when I got married and we had our first argument, I was like devastated because I had never seen my parents argue before. But my mama used to tell me I had to get him together behind closed doors. I just didn't do it in front of y'all. And so one thing I will say, you said this, and it changed my perspective. And I don't know if it was in our marriage group before, but you said that you should wake up wondering what you could do to make that person happy.
Mm.
How could you love that person today more than you did yesterday?
Wow.
And if you're always trying to work on the marriage, then the marriage won't fail.
Mm.
You know, of course, having a relationship with God and you being equally yoked and allowing God to lead your marriage, that's a given. And that should be your standard. And there's no advice better than that. But I would say not being selfish and thinking about how you feel, but thinking about what you can do for that person and not what you're getting out of it, um, is is a different way to look at it, and it definitely will give you a different perspective on, okay, what can I do for him today to make him smile? Yeah.
Wow.
And that was just something from the marriage group that I took from it, and I've held on to that. And so even if it's something small, but I know it's something that he likes and he enjoys and that he would be happy about, then I'm all for doing it because it's thinking about him and not just about me.
Wow.
It's the little things. I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes he comes in here and he knows there are some little granola bars I like. And then sometimes he just walks in the door and just pass me one. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't the granola bar. The fact that
Yeah.
he thought about me
Yeah.
and without me asking for it.
Mhm.
That's the little things sometimes.
Hey, Bruce, I ain't cooking a whole meal of spaghetti, man. I'm just letting you know. It ain't
That's easy.
gonna taste the same.
That's easy.
Easy? Okay. All right, then.
When we were first married, he used to buy big gifts all the time. And I was like, I can't match that same energy. Like financially, I can't match that same energy. Like I can't keep giving you big gifts because you give me a big gift. So we need to slow down on the big gifts. But I finally told him that those things are nice, but that don't do it for me. I need things that are going to help me sustain throughout the day, those small things. And so the fact that I come home and the dishwasher is loaded and the counter is cleaned off, I'm grateful for that. That is, he thought of me and he knew that I was going to come home tired and he knew that I wouldn't want to do that. So he did it for me. Like, I love that.
Andrea, that's real sexy, ain't it?
Yes.
Like, oh,
Yes.
dishes.
He make me rub his back. When I see that, I rub his back. I'm like, okay.
Look at them. They opulent.
Here's something like you know as well as I know, man. There's a lot of men who wouldn't do that. Like, you got to give these brothers advice. Like, what's going on? Like for real.
You home loading the dishwasher is easy. The dishes got to get clean one way or the other. I like to eat. Most people like to eat, so let me put these dishes in so they can be clean. So when I'm ready to eat, they're already done.
Rooster is so matter of fact. It needed to be done, so I did it. That's just it.
But no, but I'm saying
But that's not the heart of every man.
Yeah.
That's not the heart of every man.
But that's what I mean about defining roles. So I'm a person that if I see Rooster's car needs to be clean, I'm like, hey, I'm scheduling you a detail so you can get your car clean. Or, have you checked to make sure your oil's changed? Like, I'm that person. He's not that person, but he is the person to say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do for you because I know that this is going to make her happy. So I'm going to already have dinner cooked, or I'm going to already clean up the kitchen, or I'm going to make sure that I go by the store and pick up the things that she needs. So we are clear that our roles are maybe unconventional compared to other marriages, but it's us, it's who we are.
I don't believe that each marriage has to be the same, because that we making jokes over here, but it's some things that won't work in my household, and some vice versa. So I believe that you have to set the standard for your household of how things should be, and you operate the way your house operates, and I can't bring my stuff in your house and say this is what y'all should do. I mean, we can give advice and help for people who just don't know, and give ideas. And that's what I love about us getting on here on Thursdays, is to be able to talk about these things, because every marriage that has been on here has been totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. Like some people have this idea of how marriage is, and when I listen to each couple, it's not the same. So I mean, you have to do it the way you all set it up, and if that works for you all, and that's beautiful.
But something that I think, it sounds to me that what has helped your marriage stand like this is that you all remain friends.
Yeah.
It seems like you all started with friendship, and I've seen couples that were friends. Like, it's kind of, there's certain things you just won't do for your friend. Like, okay, I'm you my friend. I'm gonna take care of my friend. I look out for my friends. And what I know, Russo, what I know about you, you've always come across as a person who's loyal to friends, and you make your wife your friend. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I don't know if I said this, but I think another reassurance for me is that even when he is mad with me or upset with me and I'm upset with him, I still know he has my best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And I him. Like, I've never been so mad at him that I would want to say something to deliberately hurt him, or to even be deliberately mean to him, and I hear people argue. Well, in the work environment, I hear the lady next to me and she's on the phone with her husband, and the stuff they say to each other, I'm like, geez, so mean. And I'm comforted in knowing that even when we're upset with each other, that he still has my best interest at heart, even if I don't understand it in that moment. So
That's beautiful.
yeah,
Yes, it.
Man,
that's us.
listen, that's, man, I'm blown away by that. There's something I do want to ask is, like, I know when you all have like a household and you got nothing but boys, right? But Rooster, you've always had a way with kids. I've seen men who get married, and like when you talk about with kids, it's just like, I don't know. There's like, it's hard for them to connect. You know what I mean? There's no communication. Like, how have you like learned how to just get through to young men?
Well, I've been coaching since my little brother was young. So when he was like 10, 11, I was his coach. And so from there, I just been a coach, been working with kids, little young men, and trying to get them on the right path ever since then. Some stray, some don't. Some take heed and learn the way.
Yeah.
So it's just been a continuous thing. We just grew together.
But you make it look easy, because I mean you know what I mean. You've seen guys who literally just kind of like let the kids just go over there and just don't ever talk to them. But you make that thing look easy, man, and it's not always easy
I
for
think
guys.
it looks easy because I've been doing it for so long. You know, like you make preaching look easy. I couldn't get up there and preach, not even by accident. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, like working with kids is just been doing it for over 20 years, so it's almost like
But
it's
you're
just natural.
relatable too. They can relate to
Yeah.
you, and you can relate to them,
Mhm.
and some of the things that they've gone through, and so I think that makes it easy for you.
Yeah,
Because you see guys who get married to a woman who got kids, and there's like he don't relate to them. Like if there's a disconnect.
You could not I didn't even know that the boys weren't his.
Right.
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't shoot. When we first met, I had no idea that they weren't
Right.
your biological children. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know that he talked those to his boys as far as he's concerned. But I will tell you, even when the boys were growing up, the advice that he gave me, I don't know how he knew it, but he just had a way with them. And he would tell me, he'd come in at night and he would have been with the boys at basketball practice or whatever. And he would say, Andrea, one of the boys is going to come talk to you about something tomorrow. And when they say whatever they're going to say, you cannot overreact, because if you overreact, they'll never tell you anything again. Like he used to give me that kind of advice, and I would be like, what is it? What is it? And he was like, it's not for me to tell you. It's not my story to tell. They're going to come talk to you, but when they come talk to you, you cannot overreact. And so things like that, it helped me with the boys, and they felt safe with sharing with me because he had already prepped me, but they had talked to him because they trust him.
Okay.
And anything that they wanted to do that they thought that I would be against, they took it to him first. And then he would either say, yeah, your mother gonna go for that, or no, your mother not gonna go for that, or let me talk to her and see how she feel, or she may do it if y'all have some guidance. Like he would coach them, but on the other side, he was coaching me too. And I didn't have no idea. And
So
but
that whole coaching, you just brought that element into this marriage, into the family.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And just to be honest, like I've seen where literally you would see like even the grandkids like a journey. You would think that okay, like this is like a family unit. Like the journey would come all the way. That's your son's daughter, come all the way and then gravitate to him.
Right.
And that's the kind of stuff that I wish more marriages had. That kind of oneness where Rooster, Andrea, you like, okay, your family is my family is your family. We're one.
And now we got Keisha, our baby.
Yeah. But
I love.
I think that that's something that he probably fostered in me, because his family, they are very loyal to each other. Wow. And so Rooster has gone to Virginia and I'm here, and he stay at Chris' house, or he stay with my mother, or, and I'm not even there with him. And so I don't have to be there. That is their papa. That is my mother's son. That is, they, even the boys, I'm talking to Aaron on the phone. He's like, hey, let me call you back because I ain't talked to Rooster today, or I haven't talked to Rooster this week, or let me call and check on him. So they, Rooster is always treated them as if they were his. And so there's never been any, well, these your kids and these my kids, and we never did that.
And you can tell, that's what I'm saying. You can literally tell we don't know.
Yeah.
You know, just people know you,
Right.
but like,
And then now we got Keisha, and she got everybody heart all twisted.
Yes, yes. I told her today, I said, I'm a big deal to these other grandkids. I'm mean to them and they know I'm mean business. And she was looking at me like, lady, I don't know what none of that means.
so that's you granny mama.
Yes, yes,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, I told Rooster I thought we were done. I thought we were done. And then here she come.
so share. I want you all to share with that with something about that. Like you get some grandparents who basically grandparent parent. They like like how do you man like
You know,
I've seen
I
grandparents.
think me and Rooster and I used to say all the time. Now, Rooster's always navigated to the kids and even our nieces and nephews. And so it was always kids at the house. But if I say clear the house, I mean clear the house. That means I don't want nobody here but the people who live here and no extra people. But when we started having grandkids, I was like, oh, this is hard because we feel like we're missing everything because they live so far away. And my son Chris reminded me, he said, Mama, you used to say all the time, I'm not one of those grandmamas that's going to keep y'all babies all the time and just have y'all babies indefinitely. And you can just drop them off and think I'm going to have them. And so we laugh about that because it's like with Keisha, she is so lovable. And I tried to resist her. I worked hard trying to resist her. But I couldn't. And so she just stole my heart. But, you know, being a grandparent is a different kind of love.
She's just so happy.
Yeah, she is so happy. But it's a different kind of love too. It's like I don't know, I can't even explain it. We love them all and we be so excited when they're here and we spoil them riding and then we send them on home with their parents, but we miss them when they're not here
I
you
know. We enjoy, little Chris and Callie and Journey when they come. We really
yeah,
enjoy them. We really do.
yeah, but Keisha, she just different. Keisha reminds me of Journey a little bit because when Journey first started coming, she was so clingy. But Journey wasn't as friendly as Keisha is. Keisha is very friendly,
No,
and she's
no,
so
Journey,
happy.
Journey had to warm up to
Yeah,
us. She had to warm up,
yeah.
and she kind of remind me of you, kind of like say,
Yeah, the size is
let me stop. And then after a while, then she was all right. Like, okay, I can trust you. All right, so
Mhm.
and she started.
Yeah, but being a grandparent is so cool. It is a different kind of love. I love it. And Keisha brought a different side out of me. I think Keisha, to be honest with you, I think Keisha helped Rooster to live, and I think Keisha helped to soften my heart.
Yeah.
so let me ask some how did the grandbabies like affect the marriage? Like how did it enhance even just how y'all did your household?
Well, I think that Rooster and I got the opportunity. I don't know, you can agree or disagree, but I felt like it gave us the opportunity to do things with our grandkids that we weren't able to do with our own kids.
Oh wow.
Our older, when we got together, like Rooster said, kids were like 10 and 9. And I think Tink was the youngest one, but Miguel was around the same age. So some of the things like taking them to the park and just things that you do with a baby. We didn't get to experience that together, but we got to experience it with the grandkids and raising the grandkids. And like I said, I think that it showed a different side of us because seeing raising your children or raising children at toddler stage and at infancy and how you mold them to have character and the different things you instill in them. didn't get that process with our kids until they were, because they were older. But to be able to do it as grandparents has been cool.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so here's what I do want you all to do. I know you all have a business, and there are people that's going to look at this and they need to know about your business. Would you share with them what you all do?
Before
Go ahead.
I mean, I can't really say it's all things girly. So the name itself tells you almost anything a woman needs, we got.
That's what's so beautiful. I said, share. Look, Rooster, the promoter.
he is,
He like, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
biggest cheerleader.
Well, I think that all things girly kind of grew. I feel like all things girly is God's business. I say all the time that if he say today or tomorrow, Andrea, shut the store down, and before he can say get down out of his mouth, I'm already at home and done with it, because it is really God's business, walking in and being able to speak life into women, to be able to make women feel good about themselves, to sometimes just hug and pray. Whatever we can do to uplift women in all things girly is what we do. It's a boutique, and we our objective is to sell clothes and to cosmetics and jewelry, but our ultimate goal is to show people God's love. Like, I never thought I would be that person, but we find ourselves in there praying, we find ourselves in there crying, hugging, speaking life into people, speaking life into women, helping husbands do things nice for their wives. Like, it is really a ministry. And what I love about all things girly, the staff, everybody in there is saved. Everybody know God. Everybody is capable of praying. Everybody do pray. And so I love that about the store. So the store has engulfed into more than what I ever thought it would be. And not from a financial perspective, but definitely from the perspective of it being ministry.
Wow.
So I'm grateful for that. We are part owners of a lawn care service, a trucking business. We have all things girly cosmetics that is in Virginia. And so that's it. The other businesses, we are there. Oh yeah, we have a detailing business that's we're part of.
You said, and that's it.
But we have always had some type of business. We used to sell books. We had Andrea shoes and bags. We used to sell shoes and handbags in Virginia. We used to do wedding planning business. We used to do wedding invitations. Like, we've always had some type of business. And the other businesses that I named are businesses that my sons have started. And so we are part owners in that, and we're pushing them and encouraging them as well to be entrepreneurs. And so, yeah, that's it.
Wow. That's okay. Wow.
That's a lot. I didn't even know you all were doing all that.
That is beautiful.
That's huge. Well, so can you tell them where they can find your store?
So all things girly is and let me give you the official plug, the one that I give when I'm talking to people. My name is Andrea Hunt, and I am the co-owner, along with my husband, of All Things Girly. And we are a small boutique that's committed to keeping you cute. And we want every woman to walk into the room and have a piece on that starts a conversation. We want you to be the talk of every room. And with that being said, you can find us at 241 St. Clair Square Mall. We're on the second level right beside Zales. So come see us, but you can shop with us because we are open 24 hours online at www.atgaccessories.com. And I will drop that in the comments and pin it for future use.
All right.
So professional. Well, listen, I appreciate y'all. What you?
I don't have any questions. I don't.
We enjoyed this. Like when you guys talk to us about being part, I was like, what we gonna say? Our story is just us. It's just regular. We just us all the time. But I will say that I have enjoyed listening and have taken something away from every couple that's been up here. I mean, and you know that we love you guys and respect you too both, and we have definitely learned from you. And so it was an honor. One thing I will say before we are off, and I will say this to every single woman because I was reminded of this yesterday. I remember my mother used to tell me all the time, be careful about dating a man that takes you out of your comfortable space or out of your comfort zone. So meaning that if church is your comfort zone and that man doesn't do church or that's not a comfortable space for him, be careful of that. If your family is your comfort zone and he takes you away from your family, be careful with that.
Wow.
So anything that grows you and brings you closer to God, closer to your family, anything that a man can, if he takes you out of your comfort zone and don't want you to be in your comfort zone, be careful of those things. That is a red flag.
Wow.
And I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I was sharing that, and I was like, I remember my mother telling me that, and people don't always think about that. They're like, oh, okay, well, he don't want me to go to church because he want me to spend time with him, or he said my family toxic, so I'm just not gonna be around my family. No, be careful of those things. Don't allow anybody to isolate you. So
That's
I
some good.
don't know who need to hear that, but I wanted to share that.
Yeah, but that's some good advice.
Yeah,
That's some wise counsel. Very wise. But I just thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know we've been friends for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Look, our kids is like, look, Micah is like, hey, Auntie, and
Mm-hmm.
TT, Andrea, Uncle Rooster, and just we are family.
Yeah.
And I thank God for you all. Look, we've been friends for a long time. Look, back when we had flat tires and
And we needed a jump.
I jump, you come give me a Rooster, come give me a jump.
I don't know where we were buying cars from, man, because our cars kept getting on the flat.
Was always being something. We were always straight on the side of the road, whether it was us or it was y'all. But we always would come and see about each other. Like, or we were, hey, look, go get her, go get him. Like somebody was coming to get somebody. Right. We weren't left on the side of the road. Man. And so I praise God for y'all friendship and y'all love for all these years. Y'all are truly good friends of ours. Good friends. And I can't say that about a whole lot of people, but I appreciate y'all so very much.
Look, the only way you would get Rooster on here is if Pastor Mike asked. So
that's my brother. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Y'all remember we used to break down all the chairs at Rhema? We tired the whole 1,200 chairs, and we tired. It's just us four in there.
Right. Do y'all remember when Micah thought me and Rooster was white?
She was devastated. So when Micah, how old was Micah? I think she might have been 10 when she found out.
She was not.
Andrea.
She was not.
How old was Micah when she found out that
y'all? She was not 10.
That she found. Look, she was like.
She was not 10. Baby was looking bad.
No, she was serious, and she was so devastated when she found out that y'all were black. She was like,
10.
She was like, Andrea, Uncle Rooster were white. I was like, she was like, "Are you serious, Mom?" I was like, hey,
oh my God, that was so hilarious.
I
But
know,
yeah,
like 9 to 10 years old.
She's trying to get that option 9 to 10. You know, the first thing my wife used to do
what?
when I ask her as far as clothes and stuff, she would choose the outfit she want me to have. Then she would choose an ugly outfit which she knew I wouldn't choose.
What?
That was manipulation. You see what she did? Was she 10 or 9? Like there's no other outside of 9 to 10.
Oh, what is he talking about?
Y'all see that? I just want y'all to know that's what happened, y'all. So be careful.
Are y'all confused? Because I'm confused. What are you talking about?
Subtle manipulation. I'm gonna get him to choose this.
Nia.
I want this ugly outfit. I know he ain't gonna want to have.
Rooster.
Which one? This
What
one
is he,
or this one?
what is he talking
Okay,
about?
all right then. I had to get that out.
You know what it is? He's hungry. And he's eat himself when his live goes off. That's too hungry. And then you start getting delusional. What is he talking about? Say
Look.
sorry.
I'm sorry you don't understand what I just did and what you did. I'm telling you, everybody is a witness to this. Brewster, you saw what she did, right?
What?
She gonna get to a number age close to 10, 9. She was not close. She was a young girl, right?
She was
I
dead.
cannot.
She didn't even know.
Wow.
Andrea laughed.
But
She saw it. She knew what you doing because she probably do the
Are
rooster.
you serious?
look,
Y'all got
Rooster,
because he gonna have to come by there and get him a plate.
y'all gonna have to pray for that lion spirit Rooster guy, because he get up every morning and be trying to dress like me, and then he try to act like I was dressed like him. So he try to wear the same color I wear all the time, especially when we going somewhere. And then he try to act like, oh, he just so happened to pop out the room and we had on the same thing. Y'all pray for that lion spirit.
Oh
that's for y'all minister. Y'all know that's y'all minister telling y'all them stories. God don't like ugly.
wow.
Oh my goodness, man, that's hilarious.
Well,
sorry.
Y'all so crazy.
Oh.
She go pick out my clothes and then get dressed and then say, "How you look like me?" But she picked out my clothes.
Whatever.
No, I see. That's what I'm talking about.
What? What are you talking about?
They know. She know what I'm talking about.
You talking about you?
Rooster, I'm here, man. I understand.
Anybody got a plate for Mike tonight?
Brother, I understand.
Rooster come over there and cook.
Right, because that's what's gonna happen.
Talking, man.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But listen, y'all for real.
We really do.
Y'all so much. But listen, if y'all
We love y'all.
All Things Girly in St. Clair Mall, okay? If you're near the St. Louis area, if you're in Fairview Heights, it's in Fairview Heights, St. Clair Mall, All Things Girly.
Yeah.
Look,
and if you're not, you can always go online and shop online.
Yeah.
All right. Put that link down below, okay?
Okay,
yes,
will do.
You can do it. So listen, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to have my wife go make me my food right now.
You got it.
Barefoot. That's how we do it, Bruce. Barefoot.
You know,
Bruce ain't saying nothing.
Yeah. Then he just said, yeah. I called it. We hear. All right.
Yeah, so funny. We enjoyed this, so thank you for allowing us to share. It was fun.
All right, God.
All right, God bless y'all. We love y'all.
Love you too.
Love y'all.
Love you too, man.